Good morning from day 2. It pissed down all night. It is, heavy rain. We're dry, we're plenty fine in the shelter, but I think the plan is we're going to hike like 2.5 miles to Stickoa Gap, and then get out and go and find a hostel or a hotel or something in the area to hunker down and wait for this to pass over and then figure out what's next. So we've had messages from Mountain Goat, from Ralph, from Sass, from Gadget's mom, all warning us about Hurricane Helene and are we seeing it. So it seems like it's a pretty big deal. One of the big things that we wanted to do was we wanted to do the climb out of the knot, the NOC, the Nantahala Outdoor Centre. The NOC, as we saw first time around, usually big for water sports. They've closed the river because of the weather. And the climb out is very rocky. Like, it was awesome and we were looking forward to it, but it's also going to be really slick and potentially no views anyway because of the weather. But yeah, that looks like what the plan is. Who'd have thought they'd be cold and wet? Definitely no spiders in there, you're fine.
Oh no, there's a spider on that one. What are you doing?
I'm filming this.
It's so bright.
I've got to light the scene.
You're filming
I got to light the scene properly.
by me putting on my
Cold, wet shoes to heroically go and get water.
Yeah.
Gadget's the best.
There's someone else who's brave enough to do it.
That's true, I'm scared. It's riveting. Ah, look at her.
I'm gonna go grab some water.
Look! I think it's raining a little bit.
Just a little bit. Not too bad. We should leave.
Ah! Day 2. Look how happy we look to me.
We're going there.
We're going up there. This looks shit. But happy hiking. Lovely arch over the trail. Yeah, it's not raining that heavily at the moment, which is nice. But the hurricane is coming. Look at these beautiful flowers. And then
Dry socks, a great idea, by the way.
Wow. Gadget wins again.
I just meant only my part. It feels nice.
Spoiler alert for everyone, Gadget is smart and Soap is stupid. I would never make you sound like a bitch. She's a bit of a bitch sometimes. And there is a porta blue there that I'm sure you could go and use if need be. Welcome to day 3. the road you can hear right by. So Hurricane Helene is, or Helen, not sure, is in full effect. So we are back at the Green Dragon. I don't think it's like hyperbole to say this was Gadget and mine's favourite hostel on the whole trail. It's definitely mine. Bill and Donna are amazing, and the place is just awesome. Set up so nice. The beds are amazingly comfortable. So we planned on returning here. We planned to hike here, but with Hurricane Helene coming in, essentially the trail's closed. So all kinds of weather warnings to get off, don't be on trail. There is so much rain and wind and stuff that were coming in. Now, the good news for that is that it looks like it should blow through by the end of today, or lunchtime today maybe, and start easing up. But it meant that probably a lot of what we wanted to do further north, like the NOC and Lesser Bold and Wire Bold, maybe Albert Mountain and stuff, wasn't really going to be doable, and certainly there wouldn't be any views or vistas or anything from the summits. So we jump off, shuttle down here, and zeroing today, which is crazy when you think how little we zeroed towards the end of the actual hike. But it's really nice to be here. Bill and Donna are amazing, and they were so excited to see Gadget because she'd been in touch to check that they were still open, and we kept it a surprise that I was coming down, and they freaked, lost their minds. So that was very funny. But yeah, so just chilling. I am out front of the Green Dragon on the porch. As you can see, the rain, it is still pouring with rain out there. As a nice throwback, I'm wearing the same outfit that I wore the first time I was here. So the same loaner clothes were here. And just chilling for the morning. So at the moment I'm just reading Crest of the Emerald Sea by Brendan Sanderson. Really enjoying it so far. Yeah, just relaxing. It's nice. Being back on trail is amazing in a lot of ways. So sorry, that's very wobbly. I very much missed trail. I very much missed my friends, my family, and so coming back out and hiking a little bit with Gadget, and then meeting up with Blessings, who's also here, has been great. It's really helped me to feel a little at peace and at ease. It's also given me some good thinking time, the chance to kind of reflect and just think through some choices, some decisions, some steps and some conversations I need or want to have in the near future about what I'm going to be doing going forward. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty reflective at the moment. I don't know what I'm doing. As I've talked about in my post-trail video, which you should see before this, I'm struggling with stuff in general. So I very much miss being out here. I I think I know what I want partially from life, but I also realise that that probably isn't going to happen. And so part of this trip, I guess, is for me to come to terms with that, get some closure and move past what I'd hoped for, what I wanted, so that I can start moving on with the rest of my life, I guess. But it's a slightly sobering thought, slightly sad thought, but probably, for the best in the long run. So we'll see. Say next few days, or week or so, are going to be reflective. I will try to record. I've been bad the last couple of days of recording, partly because of the weather. But I'll try to record where we are and how things are going and what I'm going through. I think a lot of what I'm experiencing is potentially fairly typical. So from talking to people about the struggles post-trail. So I think some of that is fairly typical. I think some of it is unique to my situation, which is unique for me, but probably not unique in the grand scheme of the world. I'm sure people have gone through this kind of problem a bunch, but we'll see. Okay, just feeling a little reflective and a little somber and a little but it's nice to be back out here, and it's great to be with people who I care very dearly about and seeing them in person as opposed to chatting to them on FaceTime or WhatsApp or any of those kind of things, which is great for staying in touch, but also I miss the in-person stuff. But, we've got some decisions to formalise, and I've got some conversations to have, and I've got some probably tough chats. So all that fun stuff to come. Bye. Back at the wall.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that color. That was good.
And then gadgets. Where did you go?
On the wing. Oh, show me where you find yours.
Oh yeah.
I always try to remember where the sign. Oh, there goes a piece of wood.
This is the overflow from Helene and other. So this tree here is normally, this sign is apparently normally shoulder height, and then over here this tree leaning out over there is normally the other bank. So the river is normally this wide, and you can see over there floodplains, and it's just burst its banks. It's so crazy. Yeah, this is how much water is dumped down in the last day and a half.
Clear to the bottom.
Yeah.
Like you can see all the rocks, the pretty stones in the
Yeah.
bottom.
But that is usually eye level.
What about
That is crazy. Goes all the way in the back over there.
oh, you want to see? He's fine.
And then that back there is usually just like a field, but it's just like covered in water. Insane.
Okay, so look at the difference in, this is what, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours later? You can now see the path up here. Like this sign here is now a thing. The field over the back there is not swamped. So crazy. It's just, like I say, not that many hours difference. Whew. Hey there, this is Future Soap from back in the UK. So, I guess spoiler alert that I survived. In all seriousness, a lot of the footage that I took over those few days when we were going out of Fontana Dam and we shuttled down to the Green Dragon in Hiawassee, we weren't aware of how bad it was. And I certainly, as some people will very much testify, Lumberjack, Blessings, Sass, Gadget in particular, I'm not necessarily one for heeding warnings too much or paying too much attention to doom and gloom. I kind of push through until I'm told that there's a problem, which can be dangerous. If it hasn't become apparent to people, I'm a bit of an idiot at times. So there's that. I feel like I try to look on the positive side. I try to look on the looking, I can look after myself kind of side of things. And I think that's where it comes from. But we were getting these messages, as I mentioned, from Gadget's mom and Sass and Ralph and Mountain Goat, GPS, loads of people reaching out to us, primarily Gadget, because she's the one who keeps in touch, or better touch, with most people, and they were warning us about Helene, and we hiked through hurricanes before. We've felt the over exaggeration at times of people saying like, oh, there's this, and it turns out not to be too much of a problem, but it was starting to become clear that this was going to be a big problem. If you watch Gadget's video of the same sort of time, she kind of has some more footage of the thought process and where we went and how we got to places. So I'll leave that for for you to go and check out Wandering Gadget, because you should be doing that anyway. But it's I wasn't really worried, and I definitely should have been. But I think I was focusing so much on trying to recapture and enjoy trail again and being back out there with Gadget, that I the idea of not hiking was kind of didn't even occur to me. And then fairly quickly, once it became apparent that it was getting pretty serious, we made the decision to get into Robbinsville, and from there I kind of knew we weren't going to grab a hotel room in Robbinsville, as nice as that small town looked. We didn't stop there on the way through. They had no connection for us, and there was a very real possibility that we might have been laid up for 2-3 days, a week. Who knew? You know, the increasing reports of you know, what was coming made it feel like there was a possibility that we could end up stranded. And you know, in hindsight, looking at a lot of the devastation that Helene brought through, who knows? Now, you know, Robbinsville I think was okay, but a lot of places really weren't. And so in my mind, and I'm terrible at articulating this stuff, but I think in my mind I knew fairly quickly that, you know, we were just going to get a shuttle, get an Uber, get whatever to get us down to Hiawassee. And a shame to miss the sections we were going to miss, but at least it would put us in a place where we were happy, where we felt safe, where we knew the people. And you know, if I'm honest, who better to hunker down in a hurricane with, if things are bad, than with Bill and Donna, because as I mentioned, they are amazing. But I also feel like they'd be great in an emergency situation to, you know, rally and keep your spirits high and stuff like that. So big, if it's not been made apparent, a big fan of Bill and Donna at the Green Dragon Hostel in Hiawassee, or Hiawassee. Also, Blessings was there, and if again you're new here or you haven't picked it up, Blessings is freaking amazing. She is just a survivor, a badass who like makes sensible, like well-informed, well thought out decisions all the time. That said, she's crazy too. I love you, Blessings, but it's true. You know, and she's a badass, so great to catch up with her. You know, didn't know if we would go into the Green Dragon and then go back up north, or if we'd hike south, or if we'd just be off trail and we'd have had a day and a half of hiking or whatever. So yeah, but again, I didn't articulate this because I wasn't filming a lot. I was trying my best to kind of put a brave face on things and not be worried. I was also trying to maximize time with Gadget in particular, but also with Blessings and Bill and Donna, because, you know, who knew how long I would have in, you know, with those people in this trip. And yeah, as I mentioned in there, I was trying to think through what I wanted to do and what hard decisions I had to make and what conversations I wanted to have. And you know, that the initial thoughts of where I was with that were very different to where you know, to how I feel when I'm hiking. And so yeah, it's just it was a roller coaster of emotions. Throughout all of that, again, I was fairly chipper, but I don't want any kind of thought that we weren't absolutely devastated by what happened with Helene. And I think you'll see that in some of the upcoming videos. But I just wanted to take this time to talk through that. You know, it was a scary time. It was like painful to see a lot of the devastation that Helene brought through. You know, hearing about places we knew and loved, and the kind of the bitty news we were getting through, because obviously everything was tied up, was a rough time. So yeah, I mean, some of that is still to come. We were very, very lucky. We got dumped on with rain, and we had a couple of sketchy pieces, not least the shuttle ride to Hiawassee, which was through pouring rain in, you know, very slick roads. So it was a stressful time, and yeah, a lot of major problems for people on trail, both doing their through hike and the communities that it went through. So again, touch on that more over the next couple of days as the extent comes. becomes apparent. But I just wanted to kind of come on and clarify where we were with that, because I don't think it fully comes across in the video. But now I'm just rambling. So yeah, stay tuned for probably a bit more what you're used to over the next few days. Yeah. Thoughts with everyone on the AT who was affected by Helene. It's rough.